Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. First, a huge thank you to all my amazing subscribers. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today's topic is life-changing. Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of fear, anxiety, or emotional numbness, even though the danger is long gone? You're not alone. Millions of people struggle with the hidden impacts of trauma. But here's the good news, your brain can heal. Today, we're breaking down how trauma hijacks your brain and the proven science-backed techniques to start healing today. Let's dive in. You see, your brain is incredible. It's constantly learning and adapting, trying to keep you safe and thriving in the world. Think of it like a GPS system. It takes in information from your experiences and uses that information to guide you towards what's good and steer you away from danger. But when we experience trauma, it's like our internal GPS system gets stuck in danger mode. Imagine this, you're driving along and suddenly there's a car accident. Even though you're okay now, your GPS is still flashing warnings, rerouting, trying to prevent that accident from ever happening again. That's what happens with trauma. Your amygdala, responsible for your fear response, becomes hyperactive. This is why you might feel anxious for what seems like no reason. Your brain is still scanning for threats that aren't actually there. A car backfiring might sound like a gunshot. A raised voice might feel like a threat. Your body is primed for fight or flight, and sometimes the opposite happens. Instead of fight or flight, trauma can lead to emotional numbness or shutdown. This is your brain on trauma. But there are ways to heal. Mindfulness can help you stay present and calm. Therapy provides a safe space to process and understand your trauma. And support groups connect you with others who understand what you're going through. With the right techniques, your brain can heal and thrive once again. Now, let's talk about the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain right behind your forehead. This is your executive control center. It's responsible for logical thinking, planning, decision-making, and regulating your emotions. But when you experience trauma, the prefrontal cortex takes a hit. It's like the communication lines between your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala get scrambled. Your amygdala is sending out alarm signals, and your prefrontal cortex is having trouble processing those signals. This is why even small problems can feel overwhelming after trauma. You might feel like you're on edge all the time, easily frustrated, or you might withdraw completely, shutting down emotionally. It's important to remember that this is not a sign of weakness. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, and with the right tools, you can regain control of your emotional responses. Let's talk about another crucial aspect of your brain that gets impacted by trauma, your reward system. This system, driven by the neurotransmitter dopamine, is what allows you to experience pleasure, motivation, and joy. Dopamine is released when you do things that are good for your survival, like eating, sleeping, connecting with others, or achieving goals. But trauma throws a wrench in this system. It can decrease dopamine production or make your brain less responsive to it. This is why, after trauma, you might find that hobbies that used to excite you now feel meh. Things that you used to look forward to just don't spark joy the way they used to. You might experience emotional numbness or feel disconnected from yourself and others. This lack of pleasure can also lead to avoidance behaviors. You might start isolating yourself or engaging in unhealthy coping mechanisms to numb the pain. Remember, your brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Healing from trauma is possible. You can rewire your brain to experience joy and connection again. Let's dive into some professional-backed tips to rewire your brain from trauma and heal. You won't want to miss these. These methods are backed by science and are practical steps you can start today. Stay tuned to learn how you can begin your healing journey. First, the grounding technique, also known as the 5-4-3-2-1 method. This simple yet powerful method can change your life. When your brain enters a panic state, it needs an anchor to return to the present moment. Discover how to find your anchor. Identify 5 things you can see. This is the first step to grounding yourself. Touch 4 different objects. Feel the textures and bring your mind back to now. Listen for 3 distinct sounds and recognize 2 scents. Engage your senses fully. Focus on 1 taste. This final step completes the grounding process. Grounding techniques engage the rational part of your brain. interrupting panic cycles and reinforcing safety. Keep watching to learn more life-changing tips. Next, cold exposure therapy. Feeling overwhelmed? Try this. You'll be amazed at the results. Run cold water over your wrists for 30 seconds. This simple act can bring immediate relief. Splash cold water on your face or take a brief cold shower. Experience the calming effect instantly. Hold an ice cube in your hand for a few moments. Feel the shift in your emotional state. Cold exposure stimulates the vagus nerve, helping regulate emotions and restore calm. Stay with us for more insights. The third tip is the tiny wins strategy. Small victories can lead to big changes. Your brain needs evidence that positivity still exists. Let's explore how to find it. Start small. Set a simple goal like drinking a glass of water. Every step counts. Acknowledge that small victory. Celebrate each step forward. Each small success rewires your brain to release dopamine again. Keep watching to learn the ultimate key to healing. Celebrating small accomplishments helps restore the brain's capacity to experience joy. You're on the path to healing. Finally, the ultimate key to healing: faith that restores. This is the most powerful tip yet. True healing happens when we invite God into the process. Discover the transformative power of faith. The woman with the issue of blood, Mark May 25th, 34, faced 12 years of suffering. Her story holds a powerful lesson. Everything changed when she encountered Jesus. Witness the miracle of faith. Jesus saw her, healed her, and restored her completely. This same healing is available to you. Mark 5:34. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Let these words inspire you. No matter how broken you feel, you are not forgotten. There is hope and healing for you. God's healing is not just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. Embrace the holistic healing process. The same Jesus who restored her can restore you. Above all, faith works. Stay with us for more transformative insights. If this video helped you, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Healing is possible, and you are stronger than your trauma. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. There are people who care about you, resources available to support you, and effective therapies that can help you process your trauma and reclaim your life. Question for you: what's one thing that has helped you in your healing journey? Share in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you for watching. You got this. See you in the next video.